Yeah, well, first thing I want to do is congratulate the Auburn Tigers. Butch Thompson's done an unbelievable job since he got to Auburn, and he's an old friend of mine, and we had some good words there at the end, congratulating him. And they got a good ball club, and they got a really good offensive ball club, and a lot of things they're sound defensively in just a lot of different ways to beat you. And so first I'd like to congratulate Butch and the Auburn Tigers, but then I'd like to congratulate these guys that are lined up here. I don't think they talked Brownie into coming, but these are our seniors. You always remember what's the latest on your mind, but we'll be hard-pressed to ever have a group of seniors at NC State University in baseball that's classy, got their work done on the field, off the field, academics, the whole 9 yards. They represented this university and our baseball program in a way that people have no idea. And I want to thank our fans. They've been great all year. I think we sold out season tickets for like the 5th, 6th, 7 years in a row. And they love watching these guys play. We love watching these guys play, and I want to thank our fans. But boy, these guys are really, really special.
For the players, if someone asks you a question, will you just identify yourselves, because we have so many folks up here.
In the back on the camera.
I guess we can go to Josh. Kind of want to ask just one of the position players right there. There's a couple of mental errors in the game. Just what kind of is going through your head as those start to mount? I know, for example, there was a grounder to short that could have been out. Just a couple of errors in that game. I guess just what kind of goes through when that happens, goes through your mind.
I'm Josh McLean. It sucks, but you got to keep on, fighting to the end, because for some of us, these guys, it's our last game, so you don't give up on it. So you just keep playing, and that's all you can do.
More questions? Front center.
If it's all right, I just get each player to give their chance to speak about what NC State means to them and getting to play for the Wolfpack.
Start it out, Tara. Stevie's got it.
This university's meant everything to me for the past 4 years, and it's just been an honor to play with these guys right here, and I'm gonna miss it.
Like Stevie said, it's been an honor. I've always wanted to be a Wolfpacker, and I got to play here for 4 years, and it's been great. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I'm just going to echo what they said. I mean, it's been a privilege to wear this jersey for 5 years. And, I've met some brothers for life, and I'm never going to forget them. And, we'll be friends forever. And it's just been an honor to, wear this uniform and, play in front of these fans for the past 5 seasons.
Like they said, it's been the best time of my life. It's been 6 years here, almost a fourth of my life, which is ridiculous. But Coach Avent, the staff, I consider them family. I knew on my recruiting visit that Coach Avent was a great man. He was so nice to my little brother, which I always cherish that. All the coaching staff, I want to thank them for everything they've done for me, and especially these guys beside me. They're my brothers now. I'm interested to see where we all go in life. I also appreciate these two guys on my left. Last year, they turned down one of their dreams to go in the draft and came back and had such a great year. This year wouldn't have been the same without them. I know there's other guys on the team that are just like that, and I just appreciate everything every single guy's given for this program, and I can't wait to be a fan for the rest of my life and watch the freshmen and sophomores and juniors grow into young men. So thank you for everything.
Brock Deathridge. I guess you're going to hear the same thing for the 5th time, but, you know, it's a memory that will stick with me forever. It's been the best 4 years of my life, and, you know, the relationships and the bond that's been created in the past 4 years is unbreakable. I mean, it's you can't explain it, and, you know, I'm very honored and to be a Wolfpack for life, you know, part of the Wolfpack family, walk away with my degree and just see what the future holds. And, you know, I'm just very, very blessed and fortunate to be a part of this. And just want to thank all the fans, all the coaches, all former teammates, you know, and you know, the sky's the limit for the baseball program. And, you know, I'm very blessed to be a part of it.
Josh McClain. I don't have a whole lot to say, but you know, I would never grew up a NC State fan, but when I got the call to be recruited here, you know, it was an easy decision to come here. The staff, Coach Hart, Coach Avent, and you know, it was the best decision of my life to come here. And I spent 3 years and got offered in a draft, and this place meant so much to me that I decided to come back. And you know, it was the best year that I've ever had, best 4 years I've ever had, and you know, these are my best friends right here. And yeah, that's it.
Brian Brown. Yeah, I mean, I can't thank everybody enough over these 4 years. I mean, it's been an amazing time. These guys will always be my brothers, and that will never change. That's for sure. The relationships we built, they're unbreakable. This university has been great to me, so I can't say enough. Thank you, guys.
Coach, the way Auburn hit in the first 2 games, did you have it in your mind how quickly you wanted to go to Joe if it got that way early?
Yeah, I talked to Joe, and, you know, Joe started a couple of years ago. He was a starter for us. He's played every role, closer, starter, and in between. And I'll never forget, he pitched like Joe might remember. It was like 6 1/3 or something, and we're in Boston in the coldest game I've ever played in my life. And Joe came in about the 7th inning and went about 15 innings in the coldest. I said, Joe, we're going to have to go back to that Boston game today. You're coming in early, and that's a role he hadn't been in a while, and he pitched great. It was just, right now, Auburn's got a great offensive ball club. And unfortunately, a couple of the errors we made, you know, some of the errors we made was just like Brock going to cut that fly, you know, the ground ball off. The base hit that was going to be a double anyway. He was going to cut that ball off, and he got an error for that. And Will went in the hole to try to make a play that there was going to be no play at first, and I think he got an error for that. So those were just kind of hits. But there were a couple of errors we made that cost some runs. But we knew we'd have to use everybody tonight. We knew we were thin. Johnny Piedmont, who's given this university more than anybody has any idea for what he's done. That's why he's so loved by his teammates. And we knew he and Beeline were pitching on, you know, thin ice a little bit, and they went out and gave us what they had. And but I mean, I answered your question, I hope. But one thing I'd like to say in case I forget. One, you know, Josh McClain pulled his hamstring pretty badly in the first game, hitting the triple that puts us up 4-1, which was a big, big play. And he's had a career that's had some injuries with it, and he's played through them, broken wrist. I mean, he's had some things, and he just plays through them. But the trainer came to me after the first game and said, Josh can't play through this. He needs to sit this one out. And then we'll try to get him ready for tomorrow night. And 20 minutes later, Josh comes to find me in the hall and said, I'm going to play if it's okay with you. I'm fine, I promise you. And I said, Josh, you got the draft coming up Tuesday? He turned down the draft. He and Brock Deathridge should come back for their teammates at NC State and play their senior year, turned down a lot of money. And now he's going to risk the draft Tuesday night. He said, I owe that to my teammates. I said, if it's good with you, it's good with me. And I don't think you get that a lot. And the last thing I'd like to point out, for a group of guys that were down so much, you notice they never quit through this game. I thought our at-bats, down whatever the score was, I can't remember, 7-0. I thought our at-bats, off very good pitching, could have been as locked in, as good as we've had in a while. And all these guys that are up here now, Stevie ended up with a line drive single. Mac got that patented double of his that he used to hit down the left field line, limping into second like the guy for the Dodgers. Who was that? Gibson, Kurt Gibson. And Brock hit an absolute rocket to the right fielder. It ticked him off because he hates to tear one apart and not fall in. So he hit a rocket, and then Shane Shepard, he hits that home run to right field. And that don't make up for everything, but those guys will never remember their careers here, but they will never remember never forget their last at-bats.
Second row, left side.
Give me a bottle of water. I can't even talk. Thank you, Stevie. Fred. 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 Fred.
Obviously, any loss or any way to end the season is heartbreaking. I mean, you're going to feel the same regardless of the outcome. But tipping your hat to Auburn, swung the bat well, made the plays, and then the pitching staff did their job. So I mean, you can't really say that makes it okay, because obviously it's not. You're still in the same situation as if it was a 2-1 ball game and they hit a walk-off home run. But then, dating back 2 years ago whenever we talked, it felt the same now as I felt then. Obviously, I don't get to put on the red and white next year like I did after that year. But, they're both heartbreak losses. And, like I said, just kind of got to tip your caps to them, and they're playing well.
Coach, obviously your mind is on the seniors right now, but I just want to ask you about the 2 freshmen that you had starting in the regionals, and just kind of if you think that, that kind of stands out to you, that they were both, a part of it. And obviously David didn't go as long, but
Who's that?
David Harrison and Reed Johnson, just how they kind of pitched this year.
I thought David started out okay, and he was a good matchup for these guys with his changeup. We thought he started out okay. Maybe got squeezed a little bit. Could have been a little different. And but really proud of him. And Reed Johnston, didn't pitch all that much in high school. Winds up going middle of the year Friday nights for us. And these guys can tell you about Reed Johnston. They love him because he competes so hard. Everybody in America admire people who compete. That's what this is all about. And he competes at a high level. And then we had lots of freshmen out there. We put a couple freshmen, in there at times tonight to get them a regional thing. I thought Centala pitched great for us tonight. And if you want to talk about freshmen, Patrick Bailey, obviously the freshman of the league. But he could very well be one of the top freshmen in the country. And really proud of his last at-bat, too, for a guy who caught, 4 games in 3 days or something, I don't know. And that just doesn't happen. That's a tribute to him, but a tribute to the high school program he came from as well. And Scott Davis, a former player here. So, but anyway, proud of all our guys.
Last question. Anyone? Thank you.
Sky Graham, good job, my friend. Good job.